You'll hear a lot of people say, well, the Trinity is never found in the Bible, so where do you get the Trinity from? Very quick and short answer is that the Trinity actually comes from a Christian apologist, a very famous Christian apologist in church history named Tertullian, who was defending against heresies that were saying that Jesus is not God, Jesus is a lesser God, or he's not fully divine, and that he's a created being. And so the word that he used in Latin was Trinitas. And so Trinitas later became the word what we call the Trinity, which means 3 in 1. That's literally what Trinitas means. That's what Trinity means. It means triunity, 3 in 1. And so that is where it came from. And so this is where we see it get established throughout church history. And it was established and coined specifically to defend against the heresies denying the deity of Christ. And so it wasn't something that was created. It was something that was used to explain what the scriptures already reveal. So a way that I put it is that, let's say, for example, gravity. We know that gravity has always existed. If I take this pen and I drop it, that's called gravity. Now, for example, the term for me dropping this pen to the floor called gravity was coined by Sir Isaac Newton. But we wouldn't say that was the day that gravity was invented. Gravity has always existed, but the term was coined by Sir Isaac Newton way later. So that's the same thing with the Trinity. The Trinity has always existed. Why? Because the Trinity is God. And the Trinity is found all throughout the Bible. It's not something that was just made up in the early church or made up in the New Testament. It's found all throughout the scriptures, which is what we're going to go through later. And so it's always existed, but now there was a way to explain it. In the same way, gravity has always existed, but then Sir Isaac Newton gave it the term gravity. In the same way, Tertullian gave us the word Trinitas. And so that's where we're talking about in terms of where it came from, where this doctrine of the Trinity came from. Now, in terms of the scriptures, I want to give you a very quick and easy way of how to illustrate the Trinity directly from the scriptures. Somebody just bringing a question, ask you, well, show me the Trinity in the Bible. You can't show me the Trinity anywhere in the Bible. So we're going to be going through Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. And it says, "Hear, O Israel, Yahweh is our God, Yahweh is one." And so this is a very famous prayer. This is known as the Shema prayer. And so it says, Yahweh is our God, Yahweh is one. And that word one in Hebrew is the word echad. So the word echad, it's a very specific definition for the word one. It means a plurality becoming one, or it means ultimate unity. So meaning multiple things coming together in unity. That's what echad means. And this is what any Jew who knows Hebrew will understand, that that is what it means. Right? We don't believe in multiple gods. We're not polytheists as Christians. We believe in one God. God is echad. Yahweh is echad. And in Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, we see this word echad used again, so we can show them in context, right, by cross-referencing scripture, what the word echad means, right? And it says in Genesis 2:24, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh." That word one is echad. So in this context, right, God is talking about Adam and Eve. And he's saying the two, Adam and Eve, two separate people, two separate persons, becoming one flesh. And that word again used there is echad. So this is how we get a real feeling and a definition of what echad means. This is the same word that's used to describe God in the Shema prayer. Then, once you define the definition of echad, you're going to take them to what I believe is the most Trinitarian verse in the Bible. And it's actually in the Old Testament, ironically. This is in Isaiah chapter 48, verse 16. And it says, "Draw near to me, hear this. From the first I have not spoken in secret. From the time it took place, I was there. So now, Lord Yahweh has sent me and his Spirit." And so, in this context, we see God, who is the narrator of Isaiah chapter 48. We can see in context, if we go to verse 12, it says, "Hear me, O Jacob, even Israel, whom I called. I am he, I am the first, I am also the last. Also my hand founded the earth, and my right hand spread out the heavens." So we know that that the speaker of this context is Yahweh God. This is the Lord speaking himself, right? Because these are also the same words that Jesus actually attributes to himself in the book of Revelation, saying, "I am the first, I am also the last." But we see that same verbiage here used by Yahweh God in Isaiah 48. So we know that the speaker is God. So we see one person, "I was there." So now, continuing on, Lord Yahweh has sent me. So now what we see here is the speaker, who we know is Yahweh God, is talking about the Lord Yahweh sending him. So how does Yahweh have a Lord? How does Yahweh have a Lord Yahweh? How does God have a God? I was there. So now Lord Yahweh has sent me and his Spirit. Here we see in Isaiah 48, verse 16, three persons. The narrator, Yahweh, and that same narrator says that the Lord Yahweh has sent him and his Spirit. This is the Trinity in the scriptures clearly articulated. Please watch back this video. Please study and take these notes. Really, the verses that you really got to remember is Deuteronomy 6:4, Genesis 2:24, and Isaiah 48, verses 12 through 16. This is how you explain the Trinity biblically. I thank God for you guys watching. I thank you for your lives. I pray that this blesses you, and I pray that you use this to share the faith and to defend the faith when people have questions. God bless you.